So what we're reporting on today, Cedar Fair is considering a cash and stock acquisition offer by Six Flags? Hello there guys, my name is Coach Shadow Born but built for Theme Park News, and welcome to a Theme Park Newsroom update from Cedar Fair and Six Flags. Now, I never thought I'd report this. I never thought I would report this. Ever. But yeah, first of all, before we sort of get into all this, make sure you go and check out the videos that we've uploaded so far today. Part 2 of yesterday's uploads from Plops on Japan, Legoland Windsor, and King's Dominion. I wanted to save this for last as a big finale to the end of the day, because this news is quite shocking in good and bad ways. We have an official report from an article on this, so we know we're sort of going to go through all that. Finally, just before we start off, big shout out go to Brian Galeas, big shout out to you, and also a big shout out again to Fish Vlogs. I think I gave you a shout out in a different video, so and you were wondering what video it was, but I'll give you another one on this one just in case. So big shout outs go to Brian Galeas and Fish Vlogs. I didn't say Fishy then. Why not? Fish Vlogs and Brian Galeas. So, Theme Park Newsroom update from Six Flags and Cedar Fair. Now, a few news articles reported this, and then as recording this, just finished watching Amusement Insider's video on this. Many people are going to be doing videos on this as well, like this one. And there's been loads of news reports stating Cedar Fair are considering a cash and stock acquisition from Six Flags. Now, it has its positives, it has its negatives. So before we sort of go into pros, cons, final thoughts, let's go on about the details. So I'm going to sort of go through my details via a news article, National Post, and basically that's just one of many notifications and one of, basically news articles. So thinking about this then, sort of going through this, and basically what this could be. So from the, in fact, no, I'm not going to use National Post. I'm going to use Reuters. They seem like a good UK article. So this states that Six Flags approached Cedar Fair with an acquisition offer. People familiar with the matter said on Wednesday. So this is basically the same text that was in the National Post article. Cedar Fair is considering Six Flags cash and stock offer, and there's no certainty that a deal will be reached, says the sources. Details of the offer couldn't be learned, and the sources asked not to be identified because the matter is confidential, and the companies did not immediately respond to requests for comment. That's literally all the details we have. That's literally all the first details we have. Obviously, more details will bring you on a separate news update. But I want to sort of give my thoughts on this now. OMG, that's the first thought I can think of. This literally came out of nowhere. I was just waiting. I was getting ready to upload the Plopsaland video, the first video of well, technically not the first video of today because we had the review from Detonator, which you can also go and check out from Thorpe Park. But the first one of that part 2 of uploads, the Detonator one was an extra. But I was preparing for my next video and the news came out. And I just needed to do a video. I wanted to wait for someone to upload their video on it so I can see their thoughts and stuff like that. See what they think. Check the articles, check the news site, see if it's true. Loads of reliable sources are reporting it. It is true of the reports that they're considering an offer. And I think that's the main thing we've got to look at here, first of all. Considering. It's not certain they're going to do this. They're considering the offer. Now the pros, the positives on this. Michigan's Adventure, Valley Fair, Dorney, Worlds of Fun, parks that you haven't seen invested in thrill investments for a good few years now, could finally get some investments. Now, that's the way Six Flags works compared to Cedar Fair. Now, the Cedar Fair stock earnings have dropped compared to Six Flags, I believe, this year. And You know, I think Cedar Fair's stock earnings are going down while Six Flags is going up. And also there's reports that Cedar Fair have actually stopped due to a specific reason. They've stopped with the stock earnings and stuff like that. I heard somewhere, and that's untrue, by the way. I'm not going to confirm that, but comment down below if you know that's true. If they've stopped any kind of stock earning or anything like that for this reason or any reason. But you know, going back to that point of the smaller parks get more investments. Six Flags operate their parks. They give a park at least one new ride, show or attraction every single year. Every park gets one new ride every single year. And that could be big. That could be big, especially like a park like Michigan's Adventure that has a lot of land that need filling. They need a lot of land to work with, and Six Flags can turn Michigan's Adventure into the destination for Michigan locals, and park goers alike can go to Michigan's Adventure more, especially with this news. Now, another pro is the big parks get more investments. Now, Cedar Point already has a lot of coasters. Kings Island already has a lot of coasters. So does Carowinds. California's Great America, well, they finally move forward with their big multi-year expansion plan, or will they put in a brand new one with the Six Flags brand? Now, of course, they can't be called Six Flags Great America. That's not a possibility. I think Six Flags California, because of course they've already got Magic Mountain in Valencia, California. They've got Discovery Kingdom in Vallejo, California. So they've got a couple of California parks in the Six Flags chain already as well. That's excluding the Hurricane Harbor water parks. So California's Great America would be another one. Knott's Berry Farm, that would join the brand. I hope not. Now, this is one of the main negatives with this. I hope some of the parks don't lose their heritage and their theming. Frontier Canada is such a fantastic section of the park at Canada's Wonderland, for example, with their big new Yukon Striker, which their B&M dive coaster that they opened this year. Now, that's one of the main negatives, I think. Are they going to rip out some of that theming and bring in the DC superheroes? And I think that's what Canada's Wonderland fans are really going to be stressing about. They'll be like, oh god, the Frontier Canada's going to go. Now, another big thing that will happen, if this happens, is Camp Snoopy will go. The Camp Snoopy brand, the areas, the characters, they will leave the park. DC Super Friends, Looney Tunes, all of that, Bugs Bunny Boomtown stuff, that will all come in instead. Timbertown maybe, if they want to go original, do what they did with Frontier City and The Great Escape, bring in the Timbertown theme to one of the kids' areas or a few of the kids' areas. I mean, stuff like the Camp Snoopy, etc., that would be good to turn to Timbertown areas because you're sort of keeping the original theme, I guess, and just replacing the Snoopy Town characters with the characters from the Timbertown themed area. So that one's quite an easy transition. So that one's not too hard. It's the Planet Snoopies that you sort of think, right, they're better off becoming DC Super Friends, Bugs Bunny Boomtowns, etc., etc. Now, another big positive is maybe parks like Michigan's Adventure and Valley Fair could have their future secured. Now, I've always been uncertain about the future of Michigan's Adventure and Valley Fair. Now, obviously Michigan's Adventure, they're opening their brand new Camp Snoopy next year. There is a good chance that'll become a Timbertown after 1 year of Snoopy. If they are going to accept this offer, I think it'll come into account for the 2021 season. I think they'll just give it a year to sort of blend in, take over. Or is it going to be one of those sudden transitions? Again, we don't know any more details as of yet. We don't know if it's going to be one of those sudden transitions or it's going to take a year or two to sort of breathe new life into this transition. But I do think that the parks like Michigan's Adventure that haven't invested in thrill investments for years, Valley Fair that hasn't invested in a coaster in years, Worlds of Fun that hasn't had a thrill ride in a few years now, Dorney Park that's been long rumoured for that GCI, never got it. These parks can finally get the big investments and the big goings, and their long-term future is secured by Six Flags taking over. So overall, there's some positives and there's negatives. Now, of course, another big positive is more big roller coasters. Now, if there's no height regulation on some of the parks, there is a chance they could invest in big coasters. Obviously, Valley Fair, we believe, has a regulation. That's why they won't invest in very, very tall rides, which is why I think a B&M invert under a certain height would be perfect for Valley Fair on that Dinosaurs Live site. I think Rides like Forbidden Frontier on Adventure Island at Cedar Point. That sort of escape type of attraction. I'm not sure what to describe it, but that kind of attraction. That would be as an example for Six Flags to say, okay, they seem to be doing well. Let's, you know, invest in some more around different spots, if you know what I mean. Now, of course, one final thing to talk about is what happens if it doesn't happen. Does Cedar Fair just stop investing? Do they not invest in lots in 2021? I don't know. It's hard to say at this point because, of course, this is just early talk. But like I said, I hope you guys really comment down below with your thoughts. Are you happy? Are you sad? Do you think it'll happen? Do you don't think it'll happen? Any of your thoughts, comment it down below and I'll reply to every single comment. You know I do. But thank you very much for watching this Theme Park Newsroom update to end this hellacious day of uploads. Make sure you like the video, comment down below and subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell so you never miss a YouTube video. And for now guys, keep living the coast alive and I'll see you guys in the next video soon. Take care, have an awesome day my friends.